Imagine waking up one morning, stepping outside, and seeing your neighbor dancing uncontrollably in the street. Not celebrating, not performing, just dancing. Hour after hour, day after day, until their body gives out. It sounds like fiction, but in the summer of 1518, this exact nightmare became reality. This is the story of the dancing plague, and why it might not be as far removed from modern America as you think. It began in July 1518 in the city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire. A woman, known in historical records as Frau Trophäa, stepped into the street and began to dance. At first, people assumed it was harmless. Maybe she was celebrating. Maybe she had lost her mind. But there was something deeply wrong. She didn't stop. Hours passed. Then a full day. Then another. Within a week, dozens of others had joined her. They weren't dancing with joy. They were trapped in their own bodies, unable to stop. Witnesses described people screaming in pain, their feet bleeding, their muscles cramping, yet still moving. By the end of the month, hundreds were affected. Some collapsed from exhaustion. Some suffered heart attacks. Some died. Authorities were baffled and made a decision that only made things worse. Believing the condition was caused by overheated blood, officials hired musicians and built a stage. Their logic? If people danced it out, they would recover. Instead, the music fueled the madness. More people joined. The plague spread faster. And what started as a single woman's strange behavior became a full-scale crisis. So what caused it? Historians and scientists have debated this for centuries. One theory suggests ergot poisoning, a toxic mold found in rye that can cause hallucinations and convulsions. But that doesn't fully explain the coordinated, prolonged dancing. Another theory points to psychological stress. Strasbourg in 1518 was a city under immense pressure. Famine, disease, and economic hardship weighed heavily on its people. Life was unstable. Fear was constant. Under those conditions, the human mind can do something extraordinary and terrifying. It can break collectively. This phenomenon is known as mass psychogenic illness, or more commonly, mass hysteria. It's when psychological distress manifests physically and spreads through groups like a contagion. No virus, no bacteria, just fear, belief, and the power of suggestion. Now here's where things get unsettling. Because while the dancing plague happened over 500 years ago, the underlying mechanism hasn't disappeared. In fact, modern versions of mass hysteria have been recorded all over the world, including in the United States. In 2011, a group of high school students in New York suddenly developed uncontrollable twitching and verbal outbursts. Doctors couldn't find a neurological cause. The symptoms spread among friends. In other cases, entire communities have experienced mysterious illnesses, headaches, dizziness, fainting, without any detectable toxin or disease. And then there's the digital age. Today, information and fear spreads faster than ever before. Social media can amplify anxiety, reinforce beliefs, and create feedback loops that mirror the conditions of historical hysteria events. Think about viral trends, sudden panics, or even unexplained behavioral waves that seem to appear overnight. They may not look like dancing in the streets, but the pattern is eerily familiar. The dancing plague forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. The human mind is not just powerful, it's contagious. Under the right conditions, emotion can override logic. Fear can override control, and groups of people can begin to act in ways that defy explanation. Eventually, the Strasbourg outbreak faded. Authorities banned music and dancing. Victims were taken to shrines, where rituals were performed in hopes of curing them. Slowly, the dancing stopped, but the mystery never fully went away. So what can we learn from this? Maybe it's a reminder that history isn't just about the past, it's a mirror. The circumstances may change, the technology evolves, but human psychology remains remarkably consistent. And in moments of stress, uncertainty, and fear, we're not as different from those dancers in 1518 as we might like to believe. Because sometimes, the most dangerous contagion isn't a disease, it's an idea. If you found this story intriguing, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into history's strangest and most chilling events. Because the past is full of mysteries, and some of them are closer to our present than we realize.